Hey, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and today I want to show you 5 very simple, bite-sized pieces of music theory that are all going to add up to a much greater understanding of the guitar itself. The first one is really simple, knowing the roots on the thickest string, and there's a really easy formula for that. You always skip a fret except from B to C and E to F. Those notes are right beside each other. Otherwise, you're always skipping a fret. So we start on the thickest string, E. We have E and F. They're going to be right beside each other, so F is right here on the first fret. And then from F to G, we skip a fret. And then from G to A, we skip a fret. And by the way, the musical alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it starts again, back to A. So we went from G to A, we skipped a fret. From A to B, we skip a fret. And then from B to C, those are right beside each other. That's all we have to remember, E, F, and B, C. So B, C, C to D. D is at the 10th fret. And then D, we're going to skip a fret to get to E. And then it all starts over again. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. You know, just remembering that one rule. E, F, B, C. And then you take whatever shape, like it could be your minor pentatonic scale, whatever you want, and you put the root on whatever note you want in order to play in the correct key. And that's one of the most important things that you can learn. You know, so if we want to play like a G minor pentatonic, E, F, G. And then we just play that minor pentatonic shape starting on G, and we can play in the key of G minor. And if you want something that you can print out as a reference, my free lead guitar ebook has all this stuff and more, including the scale shapes, hammer-ons, reading tab, you know, all that other stuff. I'm going to put a link in the corner if you haven't grabbed your free copy yet. The second piece of theory that I'd like to show you is to take whatever key you want to play in. So let's say we want to do the key of A. That's the 5th fret of the thickest string. That's A. Then we move up to the next string. So we're on the next string, also at the 5th fret. And then we're going to go up 2 frets from that. So on the A string at the 7th fret. And this makes like an L shape. You can see that right there. And it's a very important shape because these are the roots for your 1, 4, and 5 chord. And long story short, whatever key you're in, that's the 1 chord. So if we're in the key of A is 1. Then we count up A, B, C, D. D is the 4 chord. So A is 1. That's D, the 4 chord. And then the 5 chord is just 2 frets higher than 4. It's E. And the theory of it, you know, the A, B, C, D, whatever stuff, that doesn't really matter as much as what you can do with this simple shape. You use those roots to play pretty much whatever you want. You know, you could play like a power chord. And I'm just following the root with my finger. You know, and you could do like a... You know, I'm just doing the exact same thing, but I'm starting on each of those roots. The 1-4-5 is the most common 3-chord combo on guitar. G, C, D, A, D, E. You know, you've probably learned songs that use it without really knowing what it is. And you just take that L shape, you move it anywhere, and you can change keys, getting the 1, 4, 5 in whatever key you want. The third piece of theory that I'd like to show you is when you take the minor pentatonic box and you put your index on the root, you're going to be playing the minor pentatonic. So let's just stick with A to keep it simple. My index finger is on A. That's where I'm starting my minor pentatonic shape. I'm playing A minor pentatonic. But if you go down 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, and you put your pinky on that root, my pinky is on A, but I'm going to play the same scale. That's the major pentatonic scale. So it's the exact same shape, but I moved it over and I was able to unlock the major scale too without learning an additional shape. I'll just show you one more time. For instance, the 8th fret of the thickest string, that's the note C. I play my minor pentatonic scale like that. That's C minor pentatonic. I go to the left, 3 frets. That's C major pentatonic. You know, it's perfect for all the C major jamming that we'll be doing, you know. The fourth piece of theory starts with the pentatonic scale. Penta means 5. Tonic is tones. 5 tones. The major and minor scales each have 7 tones. And what's really cool about it is the pentatonic scale is within those other scales. Basically, it's the minor scale with 2 notes missing. The minor pentatonic scale is just the minor scale, but we take a couple notes out. And if we add those 2 notes back, which is pretty easy, we add a tone just 2 frets above our root. So we're starting here on the 5th fret, and instead of just doing this on the thickest string, we'll add this note right here. It's 2 frets above our root. And then we're going to keep counting up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get to the 5th note, and then we're going to add a tone just a half step above our 5th. And that's it. So you can see here, I have the pentatonic scale, and then we add those 2 notes, and it makes the minor shape. And when it comes to like the order in which you learn stuff, it makes a lot of sense to learn the pentatonic scale first, and then you're just kind of like upgrading it. Not really upgrading it, you're just changing it. You're just adding a couple things, and you get a completely separate scale. The pentatonic scale is just the skeleton of the minor scale. And to extrapolate on that, I don't want to get too complicated, but we can take the pentatonic, same old pentatonic, and we can add other notes, and we get Phrygian mode. We can get Dorian. You can get all your modes. You just take the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic scale, and you add a couple notes to each of them, and they can be different notes that you add, and you literally get all the modes. So definitely learn your pentatonic shapes first. And our 5th and final piece of theory, we're going to extrapolate on what we just learned. If you count out the tones of the minor scale that we just played, you can change them to make modes. So we start on 1, and we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And each one of those gets a number. I'll just number them up top. We can lower the 2nd note, 1, 2, to a flat 2, and we get Phrygian mode. That's like a darker version of the minor scale. And going back to our regular minor scale, if we raise the 6, we get Dorian mode. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to play the 6 1 fret higher. And that's a brighter version of the minor scale. So we have our pentatonic scale, we add a couple notes to it to get the minor scale, and then we can change those 2 notes to get a darker mode, Phrygian, or a brighter mode, Dorian. And that's for the minor scale. We can also do the same thing for the major scale. And we did go over that pretty quickly. So if you're not 100% sure about the concept of modes, I am working on 3 entire lessons that are going to be here on YouTube covering that topic, because there's a lot to talk about. So I'll put a link in the corner when you're done. You should also take a moment to like and subscribe. That way you'll be notified about that. Don't forget to grab your copy of my free lead guitar ebook. It goes over a ton of useful stuff, starting at the very beginner level and working on, eventually getting into all the embellishments and, how to read tab and play melodies and do all that. It's loaded with a ton of great stuff. So please check that out. There's a link to that in the corner. I also have my lead guitar course, The Complete Lead Guitarist, which will guide you through the entire process step by step. I'll put a link to that in the corner and down below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.